Jim Greenfield is really kind of synonymous with Grandma's Marathon for a lot of people at this point after having volunteered for more than 4 decades. He started a long time ago, and he was part of the pre-race setup and post-race cleanup crew. And then in the early 90s, he got his start with the media vehicle team and has been a driver for the race really ever since. And so he personifies really what Grandma's Marathon is and has been about in terms of the community, because he's a person that without which we would not have been able to grow the race to what it is today from what it was back when it started in 1977. He's been around and has done everything he's been asked to do and then some. So it's with great pleasure that we're able to honor him. We wish he was here to receive the honor, but hopefully he knows how important he was to the race and to our Grandma's Marathon community. And it's our pleasure to put him today into the Grandma's Marathon Hall of Fame.
You know, the marathon course at the start, it's a pretty hectic place. There's motorcycles, there's bicyclists, there's vehicles, there's thousands of runners, and pretty much everybody except our dad had a relatively easy job because most of the vehicles, bicycles, whatever, were up ahead of the lead male runners. In other words, there's nothing in front of them. But when you're driving the women's media vehicle, you're not only keeping a look behind you to see what's going on, but up in front of you, because there are some male runners too that you have to weave in and out of. So he actually had the hardest job, I think, out there on the course. And
he was always wanting to be prepared, make sure this vehicle that he was taking up to the start line everything was secure, and he'd get up to pick up the people that he had going with him and get to the start of the race, and he liked to reacquaint himself with the people at the start of the race. He enjoyed everything about it, the volunteering and cheering on the runners and the post race celebrations. He really enjoyed everything about it, and he was proud of Grandma's Marathon and what it had accomplished. And he always had a Grandma's Marathon hat on, and my parents would go for the month of February down to Panama City Beach, Florida, and he never was without that hat or a shirt, and it just always made his day. If somebody would recognize somebody would always say about Grandma's Marathon and how they had a relative that ran it or they've participated, and boy, then they couldn't stop him then.
After, or actually still during the 2021 race, as people were continuing to run by, Shane came up to me at about the bow of the Irvin there while runners were still going, and he said to me privately that our dad was going to have been inducted this year, meaning 2021, but that COVID pushed everything back. And so he said, in 2022, we're going to induct your dad. And I said, boy, that's awfully nice. I said, I'm not going to say anything to him in case plans change or whatever, but that's quite an honor. Well, none of us realized that when we were having that chat, Shane and me, but about 5 weeks later, our dad was dead. And he just quickly went into the hospital and things deteriorated. But before he passed away, he knew he was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So our whole family, we sure appreciate this honor. And on behalf of our father, it's quite a tribute. And we just want you to know how much we appreciate it.